Depending on the type of device that you want to manage through DGE, you might get different properties show up. So in the case of a local agent, again, you can see the managed host properties. So if you go edit host settings, here again you see managed paths. By default, if there's no path for local agent, it's going to scan everything. Security scanning schedule and resource activity, right? Now in the case of remotes, you're going to get additional information, you're going to get additional configuration options. It really just depends. So for example, here's a NetApp filer. It's running in 7 mode. It's a NetApp ONTAP, I believe it's 8.2 version. So here, if I go managed hosts, now I have a different tab here. I have this agents tab. So at least one agent is required. So the way that remotes work is you deploy an agent to a Windows server, and that agent is responsible for remotely scanning your NetApp device, your EMC Isilon device, etc. Windows as well, you can have a remote Windows agent. So in order to deploy and manage, in this case, a NetApp filer, I need to add an agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cancel out of here, and I'm going to go to the agents over here. And right now, there's only one agent. You can see I have an agent for my local managed host, which I already deployed here, right? So, but what I want to do is I want to add an agent. So I'm going to go back to managed hosts, and I'm going to pick my NetApp filer. I'm going to go managed host, and I'm going to add an agent. So here, there's a drop down. This is where you would select the machine to host the agent. This is you can consider beta code, so some of the descriptions and the text may change, but just so you're aware. So here I'm actually going to pick a machine that's going to use to remotely scan the device. I'm actually going to pick the same machine. I'm going to deploy the agent here locally. A machine can host multiple DGE agents, so I already have a local agent running on this particular machine, MMDIM 702, but that's okay because in addition to a local agent, any specific machine can host multiple remote agents as well. However, you can only have one local agent on any specific machine. So one local agent plus one or more remote agents. And I'm going to select my service account. There it is right there. And I'm going to add. So now I have my agent. So this agent is going to be the one that's responsible for scanning, watching for activity, etc. Managed paths. In the case of a remote, you have no choice but to select paths to monitor. It's different with locals. With locals, by default, if there's nothing there, if there's no managed paths added, the agent is going to scan everything. The reverse is true for remotes. You must have a managed path in order for it to scan something. By default, if there are no managed paths set for remote, nothing will be scanned. So I must pick a managed path. So here, I'm going to go add, and I'm going to pick my home folder and maybe this guy right here, new volume. So I'm going to pick these two. If I had multiple agents added, then I could drop down, and for any specific route on that NetApp, I could specify the agent that I wanted to scan it. So I can have an agent on server A watching route A on the NetApp filer, and I can have an agent on server B watching route B on the same NetApp filer. So the architecture of the agents allows you to distribute the load of scanning across multiple servers if you need to. In this particular case, I'm going to have this one agent watch both. And I'm going to go okay. So there's my managed paths. Security scanning schedule. I'm going to pick everything the way it is right now. So I am going to add this collect activity for real-time security updates, because I want to make sure that if any security changes do take place, they update the security index. And resource activity, I do want to turn resource activity. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to disable read, and I'm going to increase this to 1 hour because I want to watch this a little bit more closely. I want to make sure that I'm getting a more precise look at the activity, right? And I'm going to go okay. So now in the case of NetApp, what's happening here is that we're deploying the agent locally, in this case, on this machine, and then the agent is actually going to start scanning. So here you can see the NetApp agent has been deployed, but it's still in a status of waiting for scanning to start. And the reason is because it's waiting for the schedule to click in before it starts doing scanning. Now we can force that to start immediately. And the way you do that is to go back to the host settings, go to security scanning, and there's a checkbox for immediately scan on agent restart or when managed paths change. Well, I'm not going to be changing my managed paths, but I can force a restart of the agent. So if I click that and go OK, all I need to do now in order to get that starting again is to restart the agent. So if we go to agents and I see here's my agent for that NetApp filer, and I can either right click and go restart agent, or in the task pane you can also see restart agent there as well. I'll click restart agent. Restarting an agent may immediately cause a full rescan of the managed paths. Do you wish to proceed? Yes. And at that point, the agent is going to restart. I'm going to go back to managed hosts. And now you can see the agent for that NetApp filer is scanning. And it's a small data set on the NetApp filer, so it shouldn't take too long to scan. But it's being done remotely, and it's executing as the service account for the domain. And now you can see that the NetApp filer, the status is data available.